welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and we're here today to do the final video of 2025. Send it off with a kiss. It's going to be the top recommendations that Mr. Randy has had on his channel for 2025. So the stipulations of this is going to be, I'm going to give you the top one, the top slot out of each category: bourbon, scotch, Irish, Japanese, gin, rye, rye, wine, rum, sake, soju. Did I miss anything? So let's go ahead and set down some ground rules. So number one, I had to have had it reviewed on my channel. What's the point in telling you something that I have no reference to give you with? That's just dumb. But I also have a little bit of a, please forgive me because I don't have the bottles. I think you can understand that. But then I also ask you, please forgive me because it's running so late. I want to have this done, shot, edited, uploaded, and out there so you can watch it before 2025 is over. So I'm not going to be able to splice in any kind of images, pictures, or whatnot of the bottles. I just trust that if you choose to look over those bottles mentioned, you'll go back through my library, check it out, watch the videos, and tell me what you think. So let's go ahead and get this on with. So if you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. Hope you had a wonderful holidays and hope you have a safe, responsible, and joyous New Year's Eve party, whatever. Where are you going? Let me know in the comments. Hopefully you might watch this before you go out. If not, you'll probably watch it tomorrow or whatever. So let's start off, shall we? Let's go ahead and, you know what? I'm gonna flip over to the back side. We're gonna start at the bottom and work our way up. I'm not going to sing the song. I think most of you probably don't know the song. I've started at the bottom. Now we're here. We made it up. Anyway, soju. So, problem with soju is I think I only had two. One of them I did a review on, I know for sure, and that's going to be the Jinro is Back. That was a soju. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't horrible. I didn't quite get back into that before the end of 2025. Gonna make sure we hit it hard on 2026. So moving to the next category, up the list, we're going to do sake. I've had a few sake, and I actually still do have a bottle, because it is a regular for me. I've been doing sake Saturdays, which I do apologize. I started the sake Saturday and dropped you. I do apologize. I'm so sorry about that. Very busy man, Mr. Randy is these holidays, and I'm going to be very busy for the next couple months because I'm moving. So Sho Chikubai sake is my top choice. Second would be the Gekiken. You know what I mean. It's the other one. I did a review. I did a third review of a milky, sweeter sake, which is very nice, but that's moving on. So in the rum category, we did the Bacardi Gold, and that's going to take the top slot for my rum. I only did a couple of rum this year. We're not going to discuss the black sheep of that category. You know what it is. If you don't, just backtrack. That's a good one. That's definitely a good one to watch. The runner-up in the rum section is going to be the silver, the Bacardi Silver. Like I said, didn't do a lot of rum this year. Going to rectify that for 2026. Now we're moving on to the wine category. If you don't know this one, you definitely need to go back all the way to the beginning, maybe. I mentioned this quite a bit in a lot of my reviews. Yellowtail Jammy Red Rue. I do actually have this bottle sitting over here on the bar. Jammy Red Rue. Almost impossible to find in my area. I can find the 1.75 liter bottles, but I tend to shine away from those because, like I've mentioned in a lot of my wine videos, if I pop that cork, you got to drink it. That's a lot of wine for me or the missus to try and enjoy. She's not very much of a drinker, but, you know, even for me, I wouldn't be able to finish it. I wouldn't even get a quarter, 700 milliliters towards that, and it would go bad before I could finish it. I wouldn't get halfway. But my runner-up for the wine, I don't remember. I do believe it was probably that Riesling. That Riesling would probably take that runner-up for the wine category. Moving on to the rye. Here's where I get tripped up a little bit. When it comes to the rye, there's a little bit of a stipulation. So the only one I feel like properly fits, given all the specifics and whatnot, and the parameters is going to be the Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. I actually adored that on the second half of the bottle. It opened up and it became the most beautiful thing. I didn't care for it the first half of the bottle. Absolutely loved the second half. Tragedy, I know. I don't have an official runner-up for the Burr Rye except for that. That is the only thing, and that's not official. And I haven't tried any other Burr Ryes out there, but yeah. So while we're going to quickly take a sidestep, while we're talking about these Burr Ryes and these off mixes, I'm going to go ahead and slug in this honorable mention. The honorable mention is 4 Walls Irish whiskey and American rye whiskey. That came out of left field, was amazing. I looked at it for like a month and a half, and I kept saying a $25 bottle of Irish whiskey married with American rye just didn't sound appealing. I'm never making that mistake again. I'm never mistaking putting down something I have never tried. I will always and forever, for now going forward, I will go into a review completely biased, right? Opposite way. You know what I'm saying? Completely blank. I won't have favoritism for or against. I'm just going to let it speak for itself. That's my promise to you. So if you haven't heard of it, look for it. 4 Walls. It is the whiskey that they had on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I got to go back. I've only watched maybe a handful of those episodes. Laughed my ass off. Plenty of times watching that. It just never caught fire for me. It's called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It is a funny movie. It's about a bunch of people running a bar into the ground and their lives into ruins. It's absolutely hilarious. But in that show, they showcased this whiskey. They also promoted it in real life through their show. I think it was a great idea. Haven't heard from them in a little while. Go ahead and check that out. 4 Walls. It is a beautiful Irish and American rye mix. With that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and move up to the next one, which is going to be the rye. Another part of the rye, I've just started getting into ryes. I have the Rittenhouse rye on the list, but I'm going to have to wait until after dry week. If you're new to the channel or haven't heard of the dry week is when you set aside a specific block of time, preferably more than just a few minutes, to not consume alcohol. The point of it is for you to dry out, to clear your system, to refresh yourself, and go back at it fresh. So dry week starts January 1st. That's tomorrow, by the way. Starts for tomorrow, July. Did I say July again? I just don't want to do it. Something inside me, my subconscious is like screaming, no. January 1st, 2026, we start dry week. I hope you join me. Got some stuff planned for you. Hope to see you there. So all my ryes and stuff that I have planned is going to have to wait until the 8th, I do believe. So I'm going to have content coming out after that. For dry week, it's just going to be dry week stuff. So in the rye category, I have number 1 slot, Still Austin Rye. That is a beautiful rye, and it is the best rye I've had with all things given. The runner-up to the Still Austin Rye is going to be that Jack Daniel's single barrel. That, my friends, is the first Jack Daniel's that woke me up. If you don't know the story with Mr. Randy and Jack Daniels and his father, maybe backtrack through the videos. It's in there somewhere. Childhood drama guaranteed in my channel. That Jack Daniel's single barrel, whew, nice. Okay, so moving on to gin. Top slot in the gin category goes to the Suntory Roku gin. Beautiful. I really got into gin in the later half of the year. Beautiful gin. Beautiful spirit. Very botanical, very delicious. Although everything that goes in, it's just amazing. I really urge you to try it if you can. Second slot is going to go to Still Austin. Still Austin has a gin. They don't just do bourbon. They do rye, they do gin, they do vodka. Haven't had the vodka yet. Haven't really gotten into vodka, period. There's always 2026. We got a whole year to go, guys. Let's go. So the next category is going to be Japanese whiskey. I failed to really get into the Japanese whiskey category. Also, another point of rectification for Mr. Randy in 2026. Suntory Toki, very popular, very regular. I wouldn't say generic, but it is like the regular type of whiskey when it comes to Japanese whiskey. Relatively affordable. I do believe it's more closer to the bottom end of that Japanese whiskey category, but don't let that fool you. It is actually a pretty good whiskey. Moving on to the Irish. Who can forget the Irish? You know, I can't. I'm half Irish. Half my family is Irish on my mother's side. But number one slot for Irish whiskey, Dead Rabbit. Did that surprise some of you? There's another one. Second slot, the Claddagh. The Claddagh was an experience I'm so desperately wanting to go back to. If I ever find myself in a pinch, in a situation where I definitely need to just satisfy that itch, that Irish itch, it's going to be the Claddagh. But let's take a step back to the Dead Rabbit. Dead Rabbit is a beautiful Irish whiskey. It is spicy, and it's very delicious. It's very nice. If you're interested, go ahead and look that one up in the library. It's there as well. So we're going to move on to Scotch. Mr. Randy is full-fledged Scotch man. Okay, I'm still willing to try a lot of things, but we'll never say no to a Scotch. So number one slot for Scotch in 2025 is going to be the Ardbeg 10. A lot of people have told me that Ardbeg 10's pretty much been beaten to death and there's a lot more out there. Well, again, you know, parameters state I can't list something I haven't tried. And what I've tried in 2025 that takes that top slot, Ardbeg 10. Coming in number second, runner-up, Monkey Shoulder. Yeah, that Monkey Shoulder is like, it's gone down now. It used to be about $40 out the door. Now it's about just a little over $35 out the door. Thankfully, it's coming down. I'm looking forward to maybe sneaking a bottle of that and putting that back in here as a shelfer. Maybe I'll use that as like my warm-up pours, my acclimation pours. I'm definitely missing that Monkey Shoulder. There's a lot of Ardbeg to get to as well. Got to see a couple of those in 2026. I guarantee it. So some of you have come back, and for the bourbon, you've been waiting this whole time. You've been waiting almost 13 minutes now for the bourbon category. Some of you know, you've got a pretty good guess. I know two of you know exactly which one's number one. Yeah, Still Austin. Still Austin is quite a bit on this list. It's a wonderful distillery just south of me. Very shortly, in about 2 months, it's going to be north of me. I'm looking forward to going to that distillery next year, hopefully sooner rather than later, maybe in the spring sometime. We'll see how things go. I'm busy all the way up through February with the moving and whatnot. Maybe March, April, maybe closer to April. But Still Austin Bourbon takes the top slot for the bourbon section. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bourbon. It's made here in Texas. Everything's sourced here in Texas, made in Texas. It's Texas pride. It's very beautiful. They have an extensive line, which I'm going to get lost in. I'm totally going to get lost in it. Love the rye. The gin is pretty good too. Now we're going to do the runner-up for bourbon. I think only one of you out there, I think only one of you would guess this correctly. Runner-up for Bourbon of the Year for 2025 on Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits channel is Evan Williams Single Barrel Vintage. I think more than anything else I've had this entire year, that Evan Williams Single Barrel has been on my mind and still is on my mind. I want to go back to it, but I have rules. And I have to follow those rules in order to be successful. I'm probably going to break probably going to break that rule anyways. If I see that single barrel drop under $40, I got to get it. If it drops it, I got to go get it. I got to go get it anyways. I got to get one for the stash. That's another video I haven't done yet because I don't have enough bottles in my stash collection in the back of the closet. I don't have enough of them yet to warrant the whole video process. I want to get at least 5 bottles, and right now I have 3. I get 2 more. I'll probably get a Monkey Shoulder and the Evan Williams. But here's the thing. If I get one of those bottles, if I get one of those 2 bottles, I have to open it and have some. That's just, I'm not gonna be able to restrain myself. I can't do it. If it's here, I'm gonna want it. I'm gonna want it. So there it is, my rundown of my recommendations, my top recommendations per category for 2025, coming off of Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits channel. Tell me what you think in the comments. Anything else you'd like to know, or maybe you could suggest something for 2026. Go ahead and drop it in the comments. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I hope you had a great 2025. I hope you had a good one. And here's to 2026 being a good one. Good one.